to my supplications. In thy faithfulness answer me, and in thy righteousness. And enter not into judgment with thy servant. For in thy sight shall no man be justified. For the enemy has persecuted my soul. He hath smitten my life down to the ground. He hath made me to dwell in darkness, as those that have been long dead. Therefore is my spirit overwhelmed within me. My heart within me is desolate. I remember the days of old. I meditate on all thy works. I muse on the works of thy hands. I stretch forth my hands unto thee. My soul thirsteth after thee as a thirsty land, Selah. Hear me speedily, O I am. My spirit faileth. Hide not thy face from me, lest I be like unto them that go down into the pit. Cause me to hear thy loving kindness in the morning. For in thee do I trust. Cause me to know the way within I should walk. For I lift up my soul unto thee. Deliver me, O I am, from mine enemies. I flee unto thee to hide me. Teach me to do thy will, for thou art my God. Thy spirit is good. Lead me in the land of uprightness. Quicken me, O I am, for thy name's sake. For thy righteousness' sake, bring my soul out of trouble. And for thy mercy, cut off mine enemies, and destroy all them that afflict my soul, for I am thy servant. Psalms chapter 143. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have swayed the thoughts of the hearts of men. And let them not lead me astray from thee, O my God. Establish thou me and my seed, that we may not go not astray from thee, henceforth and forevermore. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Those of you on this platform and those shared platforms, we thank God for you, and you. Yes, you're walking with Mr. Clay. I'm Mr. Clay. Yes, hey. Yes, and also, with a hand clap of praise, we thank God for those of you that have been with us since the beginning. We thank the Most High for those of you that have came with us and tarried with us for thereafter and henceforth and here and there's about. And we thank God for those of you that have just subscribed to follow. We give God the glory and the praise for you. Yes, and also those of you that are about to subscribe and follow. Thanking God for those things that are not as though they are. Yes, we give God praise. He who establishes all things. He who strengthens all things. He that created all things. Yes, even the God of Abraham, Isaac, even Jacob, which is called Jacob. We give thanks and praises even to him for him. Yes, all praises to the Most High. Yes, we're still in the book of Judges. The book of Judges. The book of Judges, we're in chapter 10 now. Chapter 10. Now, the Judges really is a transitional way where men, if you understand, men made the transition from trusting God whom they could not see, but they had to hear from men. Now they have went to the point where the heathen have kings telling them what to do. They have kings saying we should do this and we should do that, or presidents, or whatever you would call it, governors and all these other people. But ultimately, who was their king? Where are their thoughts coming from? Even the world governments have their laws and their statutes and their ordinances are basically patterned, even some in a wicked way, because they're not for all the people of the land. But their laws are patterned after the Most High, the Word of God, the Bible, yes. Even in Egypt, the same thing was so, because God's laws extended beyond the flood. So now we're in Judges chapter 10. And it reads, And after Abimelech there arose to defend Israel Tola, son of Puah, son of Dudu, a man of Issachar. He dwelt in Shamir in Mount Ephraim. Now he judged Israel 23 years and died and was buried in Shamir. And after him arose Jair, a Gileadite. A Gileadite. Judged Israel 22 years. And he had 30 sons that rode on 30 ass colts. And they had 30 cities, which are called Havoth-Jar unto this day, which are in the land of Gilead. Now at the time, he said unto this day, this was the time that these writings or this account was written for to be discussed or to be read unto other people. Okay, that's what that was. Yes, and they say unto this day. Not all books of Moses was written by Moses, should I say? Kind of tongue twister there. They were not all written by Moses. Neither were they written by the angels. Some things were written by angels. They were written by men. They were written by the Most High. Yes, even his laws, his 10 commandments. They were just a topic over all the other commandments. See, God, he knows how to give wisdom to those who will receive it. And sometimes God's wisdom is not what we think it is. It's not after Western thought pattern, neither any other thought pattern, but it's God's thought pattern. And verse 5, and Jared died and was buried in Cammon. And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the I Am, and served Balaam and Ashtaroth and the gods of Syria. Now we have to look at these gods that they so-called served. These are like the spirits and the ones before the flood. Even the book of Jasher tells of who is the captain of these spirits. Who's the one that directs them and tells them things to do or influences them. Yes, and these are the names of these gods that they serve. Yes, and it says, and the gods of the Philistines, and forsook the I Am and served him not. In other words, they wanted to go by what they can see. Basically, when you hear a person say, well, I don't see nothing God has done for me, apparently you don't see God. I don't see God. What has he done for us? Where was God in slavery? Where was God in the time of, should I say, Egypt? He was there with them, yes. Where was God in Balaam when in the time of, should I say, Nebuchadnezzar? Yes. Where was God then? Where was God in Persia? Where was God in Grecia? But the people prayed. This is the whole thing about Judges. If my people are called by my name and humble themselves. See, you're not humble. You want things your way. You want God to show up as you dictate that he should show up. You want God to show out as you dictate for him to show out. Instead of being patient and waiting on the Lord and keeping his way, or the God, even the Most High. And he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. But no, you see things the way you want to see them. You're going to argue. You're going to judge God. Some of you even get to the point where you shake your fists up to heaven and you curse God. Do you not know these things are off? They are written in the books. They are written in God's realm. These angels are watching you day and night. Have you ever seen the movie called City of Angels? I think Nicolas Cage was starring in that movie where he was like a watcher. He liked this woman and stuff, and what he did, he wanted to be human, so he had relations with her, put it that way. But the fact is, God says, understand and know me. See, this is where we fail at. We want God to understand and know us. We want to judge God and that he don't do the things that we want him to do. Now, just like the children of Israel, they did not see God. So therefore, they went to the ones that lied to them. These were the demons using men. You have to be careful about how men talk to you. Even the books that you read. But his laws, statutes, ordinances, and commandments are what we should rely on because they are sound, they are just, and they are fair. Yes. And it says they did evil in the sight of the I Am. And they served these fallen angels or demons or whatever they call them. And the gods of Syria, and the gods of Zidon, and the gods of Moab, and the gods of the children of Ammon, and the gods of Philistines, and forsook the I Am and served him not. And the anger of the I Am was hot against Israel. I mean, he was upset because, don't you see I'm here? Don't you see that in the number 2, their parents failed to teach their children the ways of the Most High. This had a big effect on why they did what they did also. The demons to just come in. And the prayer that Abram prayed is so prevalent today. Keep me, keep my mind, O God, from these devils who have sway over the thoughts of men's hearts. Now, this is to try you. Yes, it's to try you. This is why you won't see God, because you hold sin in your heart. This is why you won't notice God in nothing. You have sin in your heart. Yes, if I regard sin in my heart, the Most High will not hear me. Now, just type in a search and says regard sin in your Bible app or whatever you have. And it says that, and forsook the I am and served him not. And the anger of the I am was hot against Israel, and he sold them into the hands of the Philistines. Now we have the Philistines. Now this here is where it's going to hover at. And into the hands of the children of Ammon. These are the ones they failed to drive out the land as God had told them to in the beginning, so he allowed them to stay. In other words, they could not defeat them. And have you noticed something else? I just see God. I'm looking at the land of Palestine, and I'm looking in there, and I'm saying, you know, maybe this might be true. God is driving out those who are not. Yes, they had to suffer something and all that stuff, but God seems like the Most High is driving them out of the land. But yet, because of the sin of a certain southern country on the continent of Africa, they are causing these people to go there, and now they're fighting for a piece of their land, the good part of the land. Just like they thought Israel was the good part, they would be the, should I say, the people that were praised and looked up as gods. But now South Africa look up at them as gods and hate their own skin. So it seems. Yes, even rejected a man that would even be fair to them, into allowing them to leave without any, hostilities. But the fact is that the rest of them, for some reason, this thing has went south. Maybe it's God's will. After they suffered a while, maybe they might begin to sit up there and see. But I don't think none of the rest of Africa is going to come to their rescue for the choice that they made. Yes. They made a choice, and each day that choice lingers, their enemies get stronger and stronger. And they know it. And once the land is secured, they're going to make their own military forces. They're going to bring in their own armaments, and the West is going to give them all kind of arms and battlements and everything. This is what's going to happen. And they're going to take over they already took over the diamond mines, gold, and whatever precious things they have as far as resources. So, you made your own coffin, I put it that way. And Jared died and was buried in Cammon. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the I Am. Served Baalim, Ashtaroth, and the gods. So we're going to go to 7. 7, and the anger of the I Am was hot against Israel, and he sold them to the hand of the Philistine and into the children of Ammon. Now this was a man, the Philistines, there was a man named Ammon. And these are his offspring, or those who were kin to him. And they serve not God. Now some of these areas you're going to see where they mix God in with their paganistic ways. See, this is why you got a lot of confusion today. They learn to mix God into the confusion. In other words, to appease God and to appease the people that they're around. This is what they do. And this is what a lot of you, even Christianity, does. And Islam, to a certain extent. Now, that the year they vexed and oppressed the children of Israel, 18 years, all the children of Israel were on the other side of Jordan, in the land of Amorites, which is Gilead. Gilead, where's Gilead? You'll see that back there. But either way, moreover, the children of Ammon passed over Jordan to fight also against Judah and against Benjamin. So now you notice Judah and Benjamin stand together, and against the house of Ephraim, so that Israel was sore distressed. In other words, they was distressed. And the children of Israel, they prayed, they cried, they called unto the Most High. he that possesses all things, saying, we have sinned against thee, both because we have forsaken our God and have served Balaam. Now this was just the children of Benjamin, Judah, and Ephraim, which was the son of Joseph. Ephraim was really, in his spirit, he was a very valiant man. He went before God and said, I want my land now, but God said, it ain't time yet, brother. He let them get defeated and they had to run their way back. And then they had to take up for the Egyptians on their way back, according to the book of Jasher. And chapter 10, the children of Israel cried unto the I Am, saying, we have sinned against thee. Now verse 11, we're going to skip again. And the I Am said unto the children of Israel, did I not deliver you from the Egyptians? He said this on several occasions up to this point. And from the Amorites and from the children of Ammon and from the Philistines. No, where God said, how many times am I going to deliver you and you're going to just turn around? You make that demon that tried Abram with Isaac. He said, have you considered my servant Abram? Just an upright man. He said, yeah, as soon as they you give them what they want, then after a while they done gone back the other way. So he said, you try this man. We're going to tell him to sacrifice his own son. He said he knew that. God allowed him to be tested. He knew he wasn't going to let him go but so far. This is what's written in heaven. And he said the book of Jasher is contained in the book of Jasher. This is why we should always read and keep ourselves up on the Most High, because some of us, we have had, talking to some young lady on her live and YouTube, and found out that the last time she read the big book of Enoch was years ago, and then told me it was not so. And I was telling her where it came from. I was like, this is pride. This is nothing but pride this young lady has. It's not in the book of Enoch. She was an Igbo. I mean, you were Igbo. You were supposed to be, or they say Igbo is supposed to be the children of the Most High, part of Israel, but you have not studied. You don't know God. You say things that you can bring up in your head and say here and there, but your studies are not up to par. We have to continually study the word, just the books, period. If you don't do nothing but study after the Ethiopian way, the Ethiopian books. No, they all not are perfect. No, but they also give you a glimpse of what happened in heaven and on earth. Yes, this is what happens. Now, let's continue. He said, I delivered you from these people. In verse 12, the Zidonians also, and the Amalekites, and the Maonites did oppress you, and ye cried to me, and I delivered you out of their hand. Now, what prophet was he telling this from? He was telling them this for probably a priest, a Levitical priest. You see, I don't care how much you say yourself as a prophet. You cannot be a prophet of the Most High unless you come from a true prophet. Other than that, you're just a soothsayer or one who's like Balaam. Yes, who was asked by Balak to curse the children of Israel. Yes, this is all you are. You're nothing else. God uses his own people. God uses those. You have to be that of Israel, or a child of, should I say, Jacob. You have to be a child of Jacob in order to be a prophet, period. Yes. Now, God will give you dreams and visions. Yes, he will give you that, but that doesn't mean, but that was to tell his people. I've had that happen. The young man didn't even know, he wasn't even believing on God, and God gave him a dream, and he had a dream about me, and I knew what that dream was about. But either way, but God was trying to get my attention about something that was about to happen, and it happened, period. Does that make him a prophet? No, he don't know what a prophet is. As a matter of fact, it was on a lunch break. God dozed off, and God gave him a dream. Excuse me. And ye cried to me, and I delivered you out of their hands. In verse 13, yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods, wherefore will I deliver you no more. God says no more. You're not serious about what you're saying. You come to your altars. You come to your your imams and you come to your pastors and preachers and you say, oh, you go to your Catholic priest, forgive me for I have sinned. This man got more sins than you. And you sitting up there talking to him instead of calling on the Most High. But yet, even though you do these things, you're still doing the same thing or even worse over and over again. Whoredom, fornications, adulteries, lying, effeminacy, and all these other things. Murders, debates, deceits, all these things are coming upon you and you know it's in your heart to do it again. It's best just to walk away and die, if that's the case, if you're not serious. And this is what they did. He said, we have sinned. Do thou unto us what seemeth good to deliver us only. We pray thee this day. They pleading with God. Okay, we messed up. We know our heart ain't right. Just like the prophet came to God. He says, I'm a man of unclean lips. I come from an unclean people. God have mercy upon me. And God is a God of mercy. Yes, God is. And the children of Ammon were gathered together and camped in Gilead. And the children of Israel assembled themselves together and encamped in Mizpeh. And the people of the princes of Gilead said one to another, what man is he that will begin to fight against the children of Ammon? He shall be head over all the inhabitants of Gilead. Let's go a little bit into chapter 11, I'm sorry. We're going to go a little bit into chapter 11, but we're going to still call this chapter 10 because we want to see what the result of this is. Yes, chapter 11 verse 1. Now Jephthah, this is the story, this is how Jephthah came up. This is the transition from the last judge. Now he's getting to Jephthah. Now we're going to see something about the Most High. I always note something about the Most High, his mercies, his compassions, his angers. Learn this from what you see in these historical books. Learn it. See, all we see is to blame God and to judge God. These are the works of unbelievers. These are the works of those of the Gentiles, those who have given up on God. This is what it is. Now it says, now Jephthah the Gileadite was a mighty man of valor, and he was the son of an harlot. So doesn't mean that it's harlotry or prostitution is justifiable before the Most High. No, there's no justice in that. But the fact is that, and Gilead begot Japheth. This man name was Gilead begot a man named Gilead, but he was of the land. He was a Gileadite, and Gilead's wife bare him sons. She was a harlot, and his wife, he was not a bastard. And his wife's sons grew up, and they thrust out Jephthah. In other words, hold on, let me get this right. Apparently, Gilead had this child, Jephthah, wasn't married. He was a bastard. Okay, this guy was a bastard. He was of a harlot. Although his father was with him, they were not joined in matrimony in no kind of form or shape. And Gilead gets married again. So what is happening? Gilead marries a woman, and Gilead's wife bare him son in verse 2. And his wife's sons grew up, and they thrust out Jephthah and said unto him, thou shalt not inherit in our father's house, for thou art the son of a strange woman, because he had him before them by an harlot. Did you get that? Then Jephthah fled from his brethren, and dwelt in the land of Tob. And there were gathered vain men to Jephthah, and went out with him. And it came to pass in the process of time that the children of Ammon made war against Israel. Now Jephthah, the vain men probably, oh man, you like one of us, man. They don't like you, they don't like us. Let's chill together. Birds of a feather flock together. Right, drinking their beer and wine or whatever they had back then. And it was so, telling lies to each other. This is what we men do. We'll sit around the campfire and tell each other lies about our promiscuous life. And when the children of Ammon made war against Israel, the elders of Gilead went to fetch Jephthah out of the land of Tob. In other words, here's a mighty man of valor. We know he's the son of a harlot. We know he was born out of wedlock. born of harlotry. And I don't know if Gilead was married at the time that he had the harlot, or was he, or was he just, should I say, playing the field with a promiscuous woman or a prostitute? Could have been that too. Now, both of them are really no different. One get paid and one don't. But either way, it came to pass in the process of time that the children of Ammon made war against Israel. In verse 5, and it was so that the children of Ammon made war against Israel, and the elders of Gilead went to fetch Japheth out of the land of Tob. And they said unto Japheth, come, be our captain, that we might fight with the children of Ammon. And with that, sometimes you have to get that valiant man, and God can use anybody. But still, he used that which was born of the children of Jacob. And with that, we're going to say to you, peace. And we'll continue this.
Walk with me.